Welcome to Not Ashamed. I'm your host, Ashley Nordman, and today I'm in beautiful Las Vegas with my friend Mallory Ennis. Thanks for being here.
Of course.
I'm so excited today. Like I said, we're in Sin City, and we're here for not really sinning, though. We've been eating great and having one drink each night, and that's our way of rallying. So
yeah,
we've been having a very mild Vegas trip. But we're here with Monat, which is a beauty brand that we both represent, and they were so gracious to come bring us out here for a conference, and we got to hang with our team. There's 25 of us.
Yeah, there's
probably
a lot of us, 25, 30.
Yeah, there's a big group of us here, and it's been so fun. This is my first time meeting everybody. This is my first time meeting you, Mallory, in person, which is so crazy. Yeah. Well, actually, I lied. We met at a fitness event forever ago.
Are we gonna date ourselves 10 years ago?
Yeah, literally 10 years ago, because I was doing figure and you were doing bikinis. So you've always done bikini, right?
Yeah, I've always done bikini.
Okay, yeah. So Mallory right now is in prep, which I'm kudos to you, girl, doing prep in Vegas.
Although I felt it last night. Last night I was okay, I am done. I'm checking out. I'm dead. And everyone else was are we going out? I'm y'all have fun. I'm not doing that.
That's what we get for getting up at literally 4:30 in the morning and going to the gym.
Yes. I'm still sorry crazy that I slept in today and left you hanging. You got to work out by yourself.
It's really okay. We're staying at the MGM, and the gym here is just so small. So we were okay, we're gonna go to this nice gym down the road, take a taxi over there. So yesterday we went to this really cool gym, and it was great. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
And the guy was nice and just let us in for free instead of making us pay $40, which I'll take. And so then we were gonna get up this morning and go get an early workout again.
Legs, of all things,
go train legs
yeah.
After literally being at STK till midnight last night, eating a 4-course meal, pigs.
Yeah, which that's 2 a.m. our time.
Yeah, literally, because we're 2 hours back. Yeah, so we were so exhausted. And then me, the psychopath, I'm wide awake at 4 a.m., ready to rock. I order my coffee on the Starbucks app. I go downstairs and pick it up. And I'm waiting for Mallory. And there's just cigarettes around me. And I'm just sitting there my pores are getting soaked with the sins of people.
Gross.
It's 6 o'clock, 6:15, 6:30. I'm Mallory's not getting up. We're not getting up. Because we were going to get up at 5:30 or something, I think, and meet at 6. Yeah.
Nope, I was in a coma.
So I just made the decision. I just was you know what? I'm going to go by myself to the little gym here and just knock it out. And 7:01, it felt like I was going into a concert and everyone was running into the machines and stuff.
Gosh.
It was completely packed.
That is crazy. Well, it's good to know that people still care about their health while they're here.
I know.
A little bit.
I was actually very impressed. I'm all these people want to work out after being in Vegas right now. But
good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Okay, so today I want to talk about Monat, why we're here, because this company has been life-changing for me. I know it has for you too. Not only just having the community and the great people and the opportunities and just everything that we've experienced together. I mean, we've only worked together now for probably 9 months or so, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, April last year, I think, is when I joined.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even going to come on as a market partner, which a market partner is where you're able to sell the product and build a team. I originally just came on as a VIP and I was a customer of yours.
Right.
But I never really got your full story. What got you fully into wanting to use the products?
Yeah.
And I know you have a story with your hair because that's what got me interested in working with you.
Right.
So I want to hear your story. What's your hair story and how did you end up here?
It's so funny because I feel like every woman has a hair story, whether or not they realize it.
Yeah.
Because I think it's 86% of people do not like their hair. They've got damage or some type of issue that they have that they want fixed. And
that's a really big statistic.
That's a really big number, right?
Yeah.
Well, so I grew up in a salon and spa. So my grandmother actually started this business from the ground up in the 50s, I believe.
Okay.
And she owned it for forever. So then my mother went to work for her. And then eventually, my dad, of course, they got married, had kids. So I was literally raised in the salon because my parents worked there and worked for her. And then not only that, but my parents ended up buying it from her. So
buying the salon from her?
Buying the salon from her.
Oh my God, I didn't know any of this.
So yeah, so
Wow.
literally my whole life I was raised in that salon.
Okay.
Sick days from school,
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
at the salon.
I remember my mom worked at a vet clinic and she would literally just take us to work with her and throw her in her office and watch movies.
Yeah.
I'm sure you were living in the hair salon.
Yeah, I literally was in the break room all the time. So with that said, I always got my hair done there. So my whole life I've only used professional products. Yet my hair would never grow past my collarbones. It was broken. It was like broomsticks on the end, super oily scalp. Like I had extensions for over 10 years.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, I'm going to be the girl that has thin hair. And I was literally told by hairstylists, like, you will never have long hair. You just have fine, thin hair. You'll never be able to have long hair. That's just your hair type. And I was like, okay. But I would get so jealous, especially seeing these blondes that had like long, gorgeous hair. And then I'm sitting there suffering like my whole life. So I was like, well, screw it. I'll just, do extensions. I literally had hair sewn, glued, clamped, taped. Like every way that you could have extensions put in your head, I've tried it all.
Same.
Especially because I was like, okay, I want to try the sew-in because supposedly that's less breakage than if you were to get, the clamps or the beads. No, like you're still doing damage to your hair when you're getting extensions.
And they're just so freaking annoying on your head, Like I hated the beaded ones the worst because I feel like
you're like doing like the tap because you have to like rest them
you're like
you're
kind of
like lightly doing
or
it.
like putting your fingernails like underneath them trying to like shove. I feel like extensions were the worst. Like the tape-ins were awful. Every type of extension I've ever had. Like I tried to tell myself that it was like enjoyable, but it was absolutely not enjoyable.
And then like you're also like constantly making sure they're covered up, right? Like whether or not your hair is down or like pulled back, you're like, okay, wait, is my track showing?
Oh my gosh, this is all coming back to me. It's like so many weird new insecurities that you have with hair because then like your real hair changes color as you wash it over the like 8 or whatever weeks. Yeah. So then you're like, okay, now my extensions are a different color than my real hair. So you're trying to like always blend that. And then you're trying to hide the extensions as they grow out. Oh yeah. And there's certain hairstyles you literally can't do because they like stick out or they look ridiculous.
Right,
you can't do two
like
braids.
The difference of like your hair versus like the actual extensions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's just like so many like things you have to work around with that.
So I had extensions, for 10 years and then I kept seeing girls on Instagram that had like these amazing before and afters. I'm like, but they're using Monat. Like I don't want to use Monat. I only use professional products. Like I'm not going to use some MLM shampoo. Like Lord only knows what's in it.
Right.
And then you hear the, the rumors of, it makes your hair fall out or all these girls have had horror stories. But it's always like your uncle's second removed wife, like cousin from another country, doesn't even speak English. Like, it's like you don't even know who started this rumor.
Yeah,
or, like,
exactly.
Who you've heard it from. And then once I actually did my research, because I kept seeing like the before and afters, okay, I'm going to look into Monat. Like, what is in these products? And I was like, yeah, there's nothing in them that's toxic. They're all naturally based, clinically backed. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try. And then I just washed my hair once and I was like, dang it.
Did it feel so much different?
It felt so much better after the first wash. Yeah. And then by like month 3, I would say, I was sold. Like completely, because I could actually see the new growth coming in. At that point, my scalp kind of like balanced out from the oiliness. So I was no longer like having to wash every day or every other day. And I never had that like when I was using, all of these professional salon products.
And you were literally growing up in a salon around all of those.
I had anything that I could want at my fingertips. Like any type of treatment for my hair, I did all of them. I did all of like the deep conditioning treatments at the salon that, that you pay extra for when you go. Like I literally just like grew up doing that to try to fix my hair and literally nothing worked at all.
Wow. So I have to ask, does your family like judge you for doing this or are they about it?
When I first started doing Monat, my mom literally texted me, be careful.
That's all she said?
Yeah, she was like, be careful. And
that's something my dad would text me.
And I was like, Mom, hear me out.
Yeah.
And I just like showed her my hair and stuff and she was like, I'm just going to watch, you. And then she started noticing how like amazing my hair was getting. And she was like, okay, I want to try it. And so at that point, that's when I finally signed up as a market partner. So my mom was one of my first VIPs.
Okay.
And sure enough, now my mom is like, oh my gosh, my hair has never been this healthy at all because my mom had a brain tumor back in 2011, I think, or 2010 is when she got diagnosed.
Wow.
So she's cancer-free now, but she like lost all of her hair. And then when her hair came back after radiation and chemo, it was like not her hair.
Yeah. Like totally different hair.
Totally different hair. And she was like, I don't even know what to do with this. It was like coarse and super, super curly. And whereas like she used to kind of have our hair type where it was like fine and thin. So since it came back different, it was like doing all these weird patterns. She also had like a bald spot from, her scar that she had in her incision.
Yeah.
But after she got on Monat and she was using Monat for 3 months, again, she was like, oh my gosh, like my hair feels so much better. And she was getting hair because she's, older. She was getting hair back in her, temples again.
Right.
So like her before and after even is incredible. And so now she's like totally sold on Monat. She wishes she still owned the salon because she would like everyone would be using it.
Oh,
like,
so she doesn't have the salon anymore.
She doesn't have the salon anymore.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
If she's like dishing it out to everybody at the salon.
But now I'm like, dang it, if I had done this sooner, which I don't even think Monat was around, because it's been a long time
Probably
since I've
not.
been in the salon. Yeah,
but I think maybe that was like part of your story is like you grew up in a salon and you probably had the same apprehension towards the brand like a lot of people do, which we can talk about. And it's just so cool to see like you have an actual testament. Like I literally used every professional product possible. I had it at my fingertips for probably cost because your mom could buy it as cheap as she wanted. So it's not like you had to splurge on it and you still were going to choose money over that.
I will never use anything else. Like I'm the psycho girl now that takes my products to the salon with me, and my hairstylist will use my products on me.
Oh my gosh, that's a really good idea. I've never done that yet, actually. Yeah. Okay, but I'm going to unlock a new level of dedication.
Oh yeah, but it's not even that. It's because now I tried it once where I was like, okay, I'm not going to take my products. I'll just use the salon products, whatever she has on my hair, and I hated it. I hated the way my hair felt afterwards. I even waited until, because you have to wait 24 hours, 48 hours for our hair when we get, toners and stuff on them. So I was like, I waited till the minute and I was like, I'm washing my hair. I need to get this off of it. And it wasn't laying right or anything. So now my hair is anti anything and I'm okay with that. I'm a Monat for lifer.
I love that. That's so cool. Yeah. So when did you take your extensions out then? How did that transition?
So in 2021 is when I took my extensions out.
Okay. So not that long ago actually.
No, not that long ago at all. And at that point I have 2 boys and you know that, but I have 2 boys. Platinum blonde hair because my husband has platinum blonde hair. And I am a blonde, right? Like a bottle blonde. But I had this bright idea. I was like, okay, I'm going to match my babies. I'm going to go platinum. And that was trending then, right? All these girls were getting platinum. And it fried my hair. Fried it. I couldn't even curl it at all. It wouldn't even hold this type of curl. It would be flat as a board.
And this was when your hair was shorter still.
Yeah, so
you couldn't get it to grow.
Yeah. So it was at my collarbone, couldn't get it to grow. And that's when I lost my wits end. At that point I was like, I have to do something about my hair because I can't style it. I can't do anything with it. I wore my hair up in a, mom bun because at that point I had a newborn for over a year. Literally, even at my brother's wedding, I wore my hair back in a ponytail.
Because just hiding it.
Hiding it because I literally could not do anything with it. I even tried to curl it and everything, and it just would not do anything.
Yeah.
So it was at his wedding that I was on the verge of tears because I couldn't do anything with my hair. Yeah. And I was just so tired of hating my hair. And I was like, I shouldn't be at this point, especially with everything that I have at my fingertips. So at this point, I was like, okay, something's got to change. You can't just keep doing the same things over and over, using the same products, and then all of a sudden think your hair is going to change.
Nothing. You can't expect a different result if you're not going to change anything.
So at that point, that's when I was like, okay, screw it. There's a 30-day money back guarantee. I literally have nothing to lose by just trying these products. And now, like I said, I will never try anything else on my hair.
So you took your extensions out, you took a risk, tried these new products, and then now your hair is literally to your butt.
Yeah.
It's grown that much.
So much thicker. That's what I can't get over either. I look at pictures from when I first started and it was just so fine and thin. It really was barely anything there.
Yeah. I've seen the pictures and it's just 2 little pieces of hair on the sides of your face. You know what I mean? And now you have all these layers of hair.
Yes. And so now I have so much more hair because that's what the clinical line does. As you know, it literally makes your hair fall out 92% less. So you have 92% less hair fall out. And then it makes your hair 10% more dense. So literally you've got more hair. It just wakes those follicles up that you have. So yeah, I'm blown away. How is this my hair? I always look at my mirrors now. I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, oh my gosh. I don't think I'll ever get over my hair. And that's why
you're still in disbelief.
Yes. And that's why we can't shut up about it too, because we're still guys, I'm still blown away that this is my hair.
I know.
I want this for you. It works. Trust me.
I think that's why you and I are so similar with how we've grown with the company, because it's such an authentic feeling because we genuinely have the same story and we have the same utter amazement every day when we look in the mirror. And I just, honest to gosh, never thought I would ever wake up like I do today with this much hair.
No, I
have chicken on my face.
That's so funny. Just saving it for later.
Just saving it in the crevice of my jeans. I'm like, what is that? Hold on.
Just a snack.
I'm sure, or maybe it was in my hair. I was trying to look at my hair and all of a sudden
fallen out of your
I saw
hair.
a chunk of chicken.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it might have
what's
fallen
going
out.
on?
That's so funny.
Oh my God. Are we bodybuilders or just kidding?
Yeah, exactly.
But
your
yeah.
hair, like what it looks like now is what it looked like when you had extensions. And same thing with me. Like, but honestly, I think it looks better because we don't have to worry about blending. We don't have to
the
worry
colors
about,
are the
or
same.
anything like that. And like your hair is amazing. Just like whenever you sent me, or I think you posted about your like before and after picture not too long ago too, and you're like, yeah, I still can't get over that.
I'm just shocked.
Like, what my hair looks like.
Yeah, like I literally look. I mean, I've seen your before and after, and it's insane because, like you said, yours was at your collarbone. It was like, in the nicest way possible, like fried. Like it literally was so like, and your ends were so dry.
There's no nice way to say that.
Yeah,
Your hair looked like shit. Okay, it's so
it
true.
looked like someone shoved a
But I
fork
wish someone
in a
would have
toaster.
told me that long ago instead of being like, oh yeah, her hair is great.
Right, like people are just lying to you when you're really
No.
walking around looking like Einstein.
Yeah,
or like
I even have people like saying like, I didn't know you had extensions for so long. Like I always thought you had great hair. I'm like, no, sis, that was $2,000 worth of somebody else's hair.
literally $2,000
to my head. Like no, that was not mine.
Yeah,
yeah, and now we pay like $160 like every 4 or 5 months, 5, 6 months on our products. Like so, we're saving money too, and this is actually ours. Like I can't just pull your hair out right now. I mean, I could, but you know,
exactly. I know what you mean though.
Yeah,
I know. I think of that all the time. Like I was literally spending. If I went and looked back,
you would be sick.
I would be sick. Like it was so much money. I was buying new hair all the time because it just gets nasty with your.
And then it looks even worse.
Yeah, and then it looks
like
worse as it's like getting dry and the ends are gross and they're like uneven. And I literally sit there with scissors and just like trim them all the time because they looked so nasty. And like now, I'm like, all I have to do, like I just still remember when I first started talking to you, you were like, Ashley, it's not your hair, it's your products.
Yeah.
And you told me that and I'm like, really? You're like, I swear, it's not your hair, it's your products. Like you change the products, your hair is going to do what you never think it can. And I think I resonated with your situation so much because I was the same way. Like you shared your story over and over about how you were insecure in your extensions and just wanted to like love your hair again and finally have, like everyone wants their natural hair to be pretty. Like we all naturally want to look pretty. Like
that's why they spend money on extensions.
Yeah, exactly. Because you want it to look like it's your real hair.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with extensions, especially because there were points in my life where they like genuinely saved me, like because I was so insecure. But I don't know one person that has extensions that actually really genuinely would rather have extensions. Like you'd rather have your own hair look like that, you know?
Absolutely.
And so for me, seeing your story and like where you went from and how you got here, I was like, I was genuinely so afraid. Like I feel almost embarrassed to think of like how like vain I guess I am in a way, like how my image is like that important to me. And I'm sure you resonate because we're both like in the fitness world.
Like looks are
looks are everything.
Right.
And like they really are so important. But at the end of the day, it's not the actual look that matters. It's the feeling. It's like you want to feel good. You want to be confident. You want to be your best self. And like for me, I don't feel my best when my hair looks like shit.
Well, I think that's fair for like every woman though. Like I think every woman has that emotional tie to their hair.
Yeah, it is such an emotional
Yeah.
journey. I mean, look at your mom who lost her hair when she went through cancer. I'm sure that was like devastating for her. My mom had cancer, lost all of her hair as well, and it was the number one thing that I feel like she focused on more than anything, like more than the treatments, more than losing the weight, like any of that. It was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose my hair. Like that's my identity.
Yeah.
You know, and so for me, I had spent 10 years literally hiding behind extensions, embarrassed of what my real hair looked like, thinking this is just my life. This is just like how it's going to be. I just have shitty hair. I have dry ends. I have an oily scalp that after 2 days looks disgusting. Like I'm never going to have that fluffy, beautiful, like voluminous, soft hair. It felt like hay. I was like, it's just my hair type. I have really curly hair and it's just the way it is. Like it's just always going to break. And then I remember like literally trying to take my extensions out over and over and over, and I could just never get myself to do it because I just like
you do it for a little bit, right?
Yeah,
and
take it out.
Okay, I'm gonna take them out now. Like this is gonna be the
this
month.
is it.
It's like an addiction.
Yeah,
but like this is the month. This
it's
is
like
what
a smoker trying to give up cigarettes.
That's why like if you look back at my pictures from college, like I'll have long hair in some of them, and then some of them is like my natural, right? Because I went through the same thing. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be the girl with long hair finally, and then like I'm like, screw it, I'm getting extensions because my hair is still not doing what it wants to do, like, or what I want it to do.
Yeah, you get frustrated and you just throw in the towel.
You just do the cycle like over and over and over.
And that was me. And I just remember like January last year was like my breaking point. I was trying everything. I was like buying new extensions and like trying to own my curly hair. I was trying to like go darker, go lighter. I was just testing out like anything because I just felt like I'm so healthy. I eat clean. I drink my water. I take my vitamins.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
the hell is my hair so bad?
So that's what frustrates me too, is like, people are always like, well, it's your diet. Like, I was doing bodybuilding. Like, I mean, granted, like, once you're in prep, you're like, you know.
Yeah, more restricted, but
more restrictive, and you can ruin your hormones. Like, that I get. But like, for the lifestyle that we do, like, even now, my diet from 10 years ago has not changed.
Yeah, so exactly. Like, so what is happening?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
And it was so frustrating. And then postpartum, that's a whole nother story. I like lost so much hair postpartum, and then I'm wearing these heavy extensions on my scalp that are
just like pulling it even more.
Yeah,
and, like,
I was losing so much hair in the shower, and I just remember like crying, being like, I just am just gonna have horrible hair my whole life. And then for whatever reason, I think I was so sick of just trying to like hide behind my extensions and being a mom and being busy and like washing my hair all the time. It was just getting too much. So January last year, I was like, screw it. I'm taking these stupid things out. And I'm just going to see what happens, because worst case scenario, I can put them back in.
Right.
And I promised myself I'd give myself 6 months. And I remember from January to about March, maybe, I was like eyeballing Monat, and I was like watching you, because we follow each other on social media. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just wonder if like this could be the thing that like gets me to that next level.
Well, and I know that you like, because there's a lot of girls that you follow too that like try Monat and like use Monat. And but I think the reason why I resonated with you so much is because you were like, I feel that. Like, I feel her struggle, and I know exactly what she went through. And if she like is really loving her hair now, like, I resonate with that. Versus, you know, you see other girls who have like always had thick hair and like thick, beautiful hair, but they might be using Monat.
Exactly.
But that's also why like I like to show other people's testimonials and other hair types and things like that too, because there's truly products for like everyone. Like, it's not just girls that have got like thin, fine hair like us that want finally longer hair. Like, there is, you know, the cancer patients or people who have lost hair from getting sick or certain medications, and all of that. So, but I'm glad that you chose to go with me. Yeah. Like, and reached out to me. And you were like, you're not so salesy. I was like, well, I was never going to approach you about it. Like, are you kidding me?
But you're not. And I think that's also like an important thing whenever, like in anything in life, when it comes to things you're passionate about, like, it's great to share what you love, but you also don't want to be like pushy on people because they feel that, you know? And
but
I feel
like, truly just want this for everyone.
Exactly.
At the same time. Where like, if you only knew, like, if you would just try it, like, and give it a chance, you would love it too. Like, I promise.
On the other side of this is like a whole new life, because I genuinely like literally got out of the shower earlier to get ready for this podcast, and I'm like looking in the mirror, and I just don't think I can ever freaking get over it. Like, I just can't. Like, I'm like, my hair is growing so fast.
Oh, yeah.
It's grown probably 6 inches since I started with you. Like, literally. It's just,
and it's thick on the ends. So it's not like it's grown 6 inches and it's still like straggly. Like, no, like, it looks like thick.
And it used, even when it was like kind of growing, I feel like it was just always, like you said, like stringy on the end. And I'm like, how do people have these like wide, beautiful, like, I don't know how to explain it, like, but their ends just look like fat and like gorgeous and thick.
Like,
And mine was like these stringy little pieces, and they just looked so gross.
Yeah, same.
And now I'm like, I can't even put words to it. But it's been so cool just to like come together. Like, we literally are in Vegas together over something over shampoo. Like, how has shampoo like changed our life like that? It's just the coolest thing. And,
well, and what that kind of like brings up a point too is like, shampoo is like, we're here because of shampoo, but like, if we never like gotten over our stupid fears and tried it, like, we would not be here.
That's so true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's a great point though, because it is like, it's always a risk, but on the other side of that risk is like the biggest reward. But I think before you jump and like do something, it can be so scary, because you're like, what if it doesn't work? What if I waste my money? What if I waste my time? And I think that is something like we see a lot when people like come to us asking for help. Like, they get so apprehensive about trying new products.
Well, because they've tried it all in their mind.
Yeah, they've already tried it all.
That's how I was.
They've already spent all their money.
Literally tried everything.
Yeah.
Like, why is this one different? Yeah. You know what I mean?
And I felt the same way. I remember being like, but then at the same time, I'm like, well, what's one more?
Yeah.
You know, and I'm the kind of person that's like okay with that. But some people, like, it's very hard for them to try something new. But then I think you like have that, and then you tie in like all these haters online that are trying to tell people that Monat is horrible.
Which is always it's always the people who have like the huge extensions too, that are like the ones that are most vocal about like, it doesn't work, it makes your hair fall out, or you've got extensions. And I'm like, Sis, I'm looking at your hair right now on your Instagram, and you got like 20-inch, like
I can
like,
literally see your tracks.
4 rows in your hair, and like you're
talking
dogging
shit.
mine, and like this is my hair. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Like, make it make sense.
I feel like the people that like give me like I don't get a lot of hate. Thankfully, like I have the best supporters. I'm so lucky. But the few things that I do get is either people trying to tell me I have extensions when I'm sharing, which I'm like, thank you for that compliment.
That's like the biggest compliment.
Fabulous. Like I love that you think I spend $5,000 on my hair every month when I don't. But it's either that or it's like people that are like, oh my gosh, that's like so bad for your hair. Like I can't believe you would do that. Like why are you spreading all these lies? And every single time it's either some hairstylist that is like so like stuck in their ways about like the professional line of products. Or it's, again, like Joe Schmo that like knows nothing, that has just heard through the grapevine that it's like something horrible. There's never people that have like a story or like there's any merit behind it. It's always just these people that are like.
what they've heard.
Yeah, it's just what they've heard. It's like drama. It's like juicy, I feel like, to people. And they just love being controversial. And like that's just what like people, I feel like, leech onto. Yeah, it is like a keyboard warrior thing. And so to me, like the one thing I'll say, I guess, if you're like on the fence about Monat or like any product online that you're interested in buying, my skincare, like working with a graphic designer, you know, anybody, it's like formulate your own opinion and like do your own research and decide for yourself what you think is best. Because if there's proven results, if there's before and afters, if there's happy customers, if there's, you know, loyalty, people that actually seem trustworthy, like it's probably going to be something worth trying. If it seems like it's not right, like you're going to know. And there's absolutely nothing out there that shows that Monat is a bad company or that the products don't work.
It's
like
a multi-billion-dollar company. Like you're not going to have those sales if the products don't work or if you don't have happy customers. Like we would be bankrupt. Right. You know what I mean? Like there wouldn't be nothing here.
And I think it's easier for me to understand because I have a skincare line and I get the same kind of backlash. Like people try to trash talk me and tell me that my products aren't what they are and the ingredients aren't what they are. And I'm like, y'all, I literally have a chemist and I'm like overseeing all this shit. Like I know for a fact
what's in my products.
I'm signing off on this stuff and you're still over here going, no, you're wrong. And I'm like, really? You're telling the person that makes this that it's wrong? And so I know that probably just happens times 1,000 in bigger companies such as Monat too.
Well, Monat was formulated with a board of doctors that oversaw everything. And it was formulated at the University of Florida. Like, there's literally like dermatologists and doctors that are creating these formulas. Right. Like, I mean, clearly we got to know what we're doing somehow, especially like the clinical studies we're doing on them after they formulate them. Like it shows that they work. Like I don't understand. Like I can't give someone any more proof. And at that point, like if a hater is not going to want to do it, I'm like, okay, bless and release. Like I'm not trying to force you to do anything you don't want to do. I'm literally just trying to help you to not hate your hair. Like,
I love that. Bless and release.
Bless and release. I'm like, I'm not going to force anyone to do it. Like if someone is like that adamant, I'm like, okay, sis. Like,
my new thing is
go enjoy your hair.
With all your
bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
I'll go text
like they would say, or Atlanta. They used to say this to me and I'm like, oh, they're sweet. No, honey, that's not a compliment.
No.
My favorite thing is saying, oh, they ain't ready. People.
Yeah, well, and that's what I told you too. Like when you first started out and you're like, it's gaming. And I was like, just wait. Because once you start getting your customers like telling you how much they love their hair, that's when you really get
it's addicting.
Yeah, that's when you really like get sucked in because you realize like I am helping people build their confidence and feel good and look good. And like that is just so like humbling at the same time, like knowing you're truly changing someone's life with freaking shampoo. And I know it sounds so stupid.
It does sound stupid, but I get it.
But like at the same time, like it's totally changed my life. Like even if I never sold, that would be fine because I would still like love my hair. Yeah. Like it's just crazy.
Be sure to tune into our second episode. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, be loud, be proud, and be shameless. Visit us at anskinbeauty.com to shop all of our medical grade skincare.